Mr. Fantastic is here, and he's stretching the limits of what it means to dominate in Marvel Rivals. Get ready for an in-depth guide to Reed Richards, where we'll break down his abilities, share crucial gameplay tips, and show you how to crush the competition with serious style. As the leader of the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic brings a unique blend of genius intellect and elastic power to Marvel Rivals. Since he's been around since Marvel's early days, he's a must-have addition to the roster. Classified as a versatile duelist, he can adapt to almost any situation. His stretchy abilities let him zone out enemies, support allies, and initiate fights in unpredictable ways. Stick around, because we're about to deep dive into his kit and see how you can maximize this hero's full potential. Mr. Fantastic's elastic properties make him tough to deal with, especially with his primary attack, Stretch Punch. This long-range strike lets you deal consistent damage while staying relatively safe. Every swing builds momentum, and after a few hits, you'll be clapping foes before they can react. Use this for poke damage and battlefield control. Keep enemies away, keep their health low, and force them to think twice about engaging. It's your bread and butter move, so don't hold back. Next up is Reflective Rubber, your all-important defense maneuver. It might sound more like a tank skill, but trust me, duelists can pack a punch in the defense department too. This ability absorbs incoming damage and reflects some of it back to the attacker. Whether you're getting peppered by basic attacks or a deadly ultimate, you'll shrug off part of the blow and make the enemy pay for targeting you. It's especially handy for punishing long-range snipers like Hawkeye or the amazing Black Widow, giving them a reason to second-guess their aim. Flexible elongation enables Mr. Fantastic to dash up to 15 meters toward any target, ally, or foe. Use it to shield teammates in danger or close the gap on an unsuspecting enemy. This showcases what sets Mr. Fantastic apart. He can swiftly toggle between defense and offense in a single move. Plus, each dash nudges up your elasticity passive, which we'll talk more about soon. Mastering this ability can swing a fight in your favor, whether you're saving a teammate or zeroing in on a kill. Now we arrive at your big crowd control tool, Distant Grip. Stretch those arms out, snatch multiple enemies, and slam them into each other to break up their formation. It's a prime setup for team combos. If your squad has AoE follow-up, this can be devastating. Keep in mind the raw damage is lower than repeatedly using Stretch Punch, so weigh your options. If you catch 2 or more enemies, you're good to go. Otherwise, you might rack up more damage just punching away. But for pure disruption and synergy, Distant Grip is fantastic, pun intended. Elastic Strength is your passive that ramps up whenever you use abilities. At 100 elasticity, you gain a shield and damage boost, but also increase your hitbox. This means you're stronger and definitely bigger on the battlefield, so it's a double-edged sword. Time your power spike for maximum impact. You can lead an offensive push or cover your team when they need it. Just remember, bigger target, bigger risks. Know when to jump in and when to pull back. Finally, there's Brainiac Bounce, the ultimate showstopper. You leap into the air and crash down to deal massive damage in a 10-meter spherical radius. But here's the twist. If you land a hit, you can bounce up to 6 times. Each subsequent slam dealing plus 10 damage, eventually capping at 100 on your final smash. A well-timed Brainiac bounce can completely upset the enemy's formation. Target big clusters, stack those bounces, and watch as the enemy team crumbles under consecutive hits. It's your ace in the hole. Use it wisely and you'll dominate the team fight. With Wedded Harmony pairing Mr. Fantastic with his better half, the Invisible Woman, unlocks a bonus shields and damage resistance. When they're together, you'll see both heroes become incredibly tough to bring down. Their synergy seamlessly combines defense, utility, and damage, letting you hold objectives longer or crush team fights without folding. If you want to experience a taste of the original Fantastic Four chemistry, this duo is a must try. Now, let's dive deeper into key tactics for mastering Mr. Fantastic. Positioning and engagement. Use Stretch Punch to safely pressure enemies from a distance. Stay behind your tank or near cover because if you overextend, you'll be an easy target. Mobility and support. With flexible elongation, you can shield a teammate in trouble or launch yourself into the enemy back line. Don't underestimate this mobility. It keeps the enemy guessing whether you'll help an ally or pivot into an offensive dash. Crowd control and combos. Distant Grip excels at pulling enemies together. Great for chain attacks or setting up wombo combos. Coordinate with allies who have a big AoE moves. It's a potent 1-2 punch for quick team wipes. Defense and counterplay. Reflective Rubber makes you a tough target for high damage attacks. Time it with thwart enemy ultimates or snipe shots. Punish heroes who think you're an easy pick by turning their damage back at them. Elasticity management. Watch your elastic strength meter at 100. Your damage spikes and you gain a shield, but your larger hitbox can be a liability. Dive in when you're fully charged for a lethal burst, then retreat if you're drawing too much fire. The ultimate ability, Brainiac Bounce. Once charged, Brainiac Bounce is your go-to crowd breaker. Slam down on grouped enemies to slow them down and deal hefty damage. If you keep landing your bounces, the damage ramps up significantly. Use it to tear apart clumped teams. Master these tactics and you'll unlock Mr. Fantastic's full potential, becoming a versatile, formidable force on any battlefield. We've covered Brainiac Bounce already, but let's really stress how explosive this ultimate can be. Spot a cluster of enemies, slam down for big damage, slow their movement, and wreak havoc on their formation. Time is right, and you'll shatter the enemy line, letting your allies swoop in to clean up kills or secure objectives. Don't forget to call it out. Team coordination can turn a good ultimate into an unstoppable force. Mr. Fantastic rewards creativity and precision. His elastic toolkit allows you to respond to every situation, zoning ranged enemies, protecting allies, or diving straight into the fight. Whether you're pushing to climb the ranks or simply looking for a fun hero to master, Mr. Fantastic is a must-try in Marvel Rivals. If you're looking to dominate Season 1 like a pro, be sure to click the video on screen for the ultimate settings guide. And if you enjoyed this guide, subscribe for more in-depth hero breakdowns, gameplay tips, and updates. Remember, stretch your limits to dominate the battlefield.